Lynn, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
We
yes.
can hear each other. We can hear
I
each
heard-
other.
I hear Lynn
Well,
now.
there you go. You don't need to hear me. Oh. Great. All the little details. Oh, yes. Okay, let me just make sure. All right, I think that's going to work for the meantime.
Mhm.
So we'll go with that. All right. All right, good. Let me see. Okay. I think that'll work. So I pulled out the book that sits here on the altar. You know, the wisdom book that many of you look at when you come into the studio. And so after we sit a little bit, I'm going to read you the one for today, May 11th. I know some of you would do check in with it when you come in. So I want to share with you the one that is for May 11th. So let's go ahead, come to a comfortable seat. We're going to keep working with the same areas we've been working with. We're going to keep working with the adductors, the group of adductors that are coming from between the pubic bone and all the way down and under to your sit bone, and that they occupy the space of your inner thigh. And so as they make that shape all the way to the inner knee, with like the shape of a V. And so we could say part of the front includes a little bit of this quad, this medial quadricep. And so part of this posterior adductor also blends really into the hamstrings. So they are difficult to separate those two. Sometimes they get kind of stuck together on us. And we've been talking about toning to the inseam. We've been talking about in some places that we lengthen. When we're lengthening, it means like relaxing, letting it get longer, right? Or we talk about sometimes toning, relaxing the front one, letting it lengthen out, toning the back. So we just kind of keep working with this language a little bit as you experiment really with how in your body you communicate with this part of yourself. And in remembering, I'll remind you that the fascia, the biological glue, is wrapping around all the different muscle bundles. It wraps around all the nerves. It wraps the bones. It wraps the organs. It wraps all of these parts of us, the fascia. It really gives us our shape. And so in many instances, when I do ask you to do something, I'm really asking also not to just try to grip from the level muscularly, but also to try to communicate through this area at a fascial level. So the fascia, though it is not, has more sensory receptors than muscle. So it informs us in many, many ways. So we just keep working with it. We are adaptable and we are resilient. That is our nature. And it is a huge gift. And we have the ability to, and we're being asked to do this, to be adaptable, to be resilient, and to move through our lives. And it's not just now, but it's always there, and we're always working with it. So I'll remind you of those things as well as we practice. So let's go ahead and take a comfortable seat. You're welcome to close your eyes or cast your gaze down. Find the support beneath you. And lengthen your spine up towards the sky. Drop your attention then to your breath. And you're welcome to drop into practicing your Ujjayi breathing with the tongue placed behind the upper two teeth and a hollowness at the back of your throat. And there's tone behind that. So that with the Ujjayi, you might hear a sound inside. And so with that sound, can you work with making that sound silky, smooth, all the way through the inhale pause, the exhale pause, keeping going. If when you hear the word Ujjayi and you start to get confused and the mind gets all wrapped up, don't practice that. Go to a simple, balanced inhale and exhale. So His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, said this: nature's law dictates that in order to survive, bees must work together. As a result, they instinctively possess a sense of social responsibility. They have no constitution, no law, no police, no religion or moral training. But because of their nature, the whole colony survives. We human beings have a constitution, laws, and a police force. We have religion, remarkable intelligence, and hearts with a great capacity to love. We have many extraordinary qualities. But in actual practice, I think we may be behind those small insects. And in some ways, I feel that we may be poorer than the bees. So let's remember, even as we come into our practice this morning, let's remember our innate wisdom, the innate capacity that we possess for love. And listening. And then letting go of any control on your breath, but still noticing. Where the breath is, the muscles and bones that are moving. And honoring the time that you've taken to come to your practice this morning. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. So to open the practice, this morning I'm going to chant the sound of Om and sing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. I'm going to sing that 3 times. Many of you know it. Some of you maybe are learning it. May all beings in all realms find peace, happiness. May my words and actions support this. So, as you join me in chanting, let the vibration of sound move through you. Take a deep inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. With your next exhale, you're welcome to bow your head towards your heart. And release your hands and lift your gaze. Great. Okay, let me just fix one thing on this computer screen so I can see you better. If things get wacky with the signal, if you'll just tell me, Lynn, I can't hear you anymore, that's really helpful. Since I don't know that often. You can either hit your space bar to talk to me, or you can unmute yourself. And if suddenly I disappear, don't give up. There's a good chance it'll reconnect. That's what I noticed last week when we kind of had an issue. So yeah, we give it our best shot. All right. Let's go ahead and come over to all fours. And we'll take a deep inhale and exhale up into cat. Inhale, cow pose. Move with your breath. Move with your breath through cat. Transitioning to cow, so you're moving the spine. You're moving your pelvis, your spine, and the head. One more time, you go through cow pose. And you could do this seated too, like at least you might want to be seated for this pose. In the chair works pretty good. Then you'll go to a table, and we're gonna walk the hands forward. Take a moment of puppy pose, pressing down into the finger pads and knuckles. Firmly press it into your hands. Broaden the space across your upper back. So as you actively reach toward the hands, the shoulder blades are reaching to the upper arms, and you're reaching all the way into the finger pads. Take your rib cage away from the hands. And then we'll exhale, walk your hands back. Grab your yoga blocks if you haven't, bring them forward. And we're gonna take, let's have a blanket as well. We're gonna just do a low lunge with some weight on the back knee. So you can put a blanket down to cushion your knees, and go ahead and step your right foot forward. If you want to tuck the back toe under just to come into a low lunge to start, sometimes that's nice. It helps you get the length in your lunge. And then as you exhale, bring the back knee down. You can allow the front knee to go forward of your front ankle. You might relax the top of the left foot. Take a deep breath again. And as you exhale, can you let the front inner thigh, let that lengthen out towards the knee. So when you do that, so that you're not going to be dragging the right pubic bone forward. Don't drag the right pubic bone towards the right knee. And then we're gonna step back and switch legs. Left foot forward. When you bend, we're keeping our blocks pretty far forward right now. Breathing deeply. And then we're going to step that knee back. And you can either keep your hands on your yoga blocks. You might go back to puppy, or you might come up to downward facing dog. Hands can be on blocks or on the ground. Whether I'm in puppy pose, downward dog pose, hands on the blocks, hands on the ground, same thing as before. Actively reaching toward my hands. Another deep inhale. And then with your next exhale, go ahead and step forward. If you're in downward facing dog, and bow forward. If you're in puppy, you walk your hands back, and then can you bring yourself to Uttanasana? Let's inhale halfway up. So the spine is long, both the front and the back. And then exhale, fold forward. Again, inhale halfway. And exhale, fold. One more time. The exhale, bowing forward, releasing the head, releasing the neck. Shift the hands to the hips. And inhale, come up to. And then taking a stance on your mat, we're going to do some of the breathing practice. All right. So step your feet a little wider apart. Or ones. I don't know if you guys can see the top of my head, but it's okay, even if you don't. All right, so you step your feet a little wider, soften the knees. So the knees are soft, and we're gonna begin to swing the arms. So this breathing practice and the one we're gonna follow with it are about more of a cleansing breath, also called one of the kriyas. So these are a cleansing breath, so that the exhale, which is forcefully out the mouth, like you're blowing out a candle. And they're faster. They're a faster breath. All right, so when you're ready, five, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then you slowly let everything come back to center. Deep breathe in. Then you're gonna step the feet closer together. And then we'll do 3 quick inhales through the nose. And then the exhale will be audible out the mouth where the knees are bent, and you're gonna release here. So it's gonna be inhale like this. You can join me when you're ready. Last one. This time when you come down, you're gonna stay down. The arms are gonna slowly slow down. And then you'll inhale deeply, like a halfway lift. And then exhale, bow forward. Release the neck. You might shake the head no and yes. And then shift the hands to your hips. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. And relax both arms. Take your feet wide apart. We're setting up for warrior 2. So take your back foot. You can make it be your left leg. Turn the back toes in slightly and the front toes all the way out. All right, inhale, take the arms out. And as you exhale, warrior 2. So on the front leg, the middle and the lower part of that inner thigh are moving towards the knee. They're lengthening towards the knee. And on the back leg, we often talk about right above the back of your knee, the back inner knee. You're gonna tone that a little so that the back leg will be straight. And when you do that, you might also notice that you find the back heel easier. You keep reaching, the spine might stay more vertical. And then let's inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the arms. Exhale, release the arms all the way down, spin the feet the other way. Inhale, lift both arms. And exhale, warrior 2. Breathing deeply. You're welcome to close your eyes if you like. And then we'll turn the palms skyward, straighten the front leg, lift the arms, relax the arms. We're gonna spin the feet the other direction. And we're gonna go towards side angle and a rising warrior. So I'm gonna put a block at my outer front ankle. So when we're gonna go warrior 2 and then rising. And in the rising, we want to be lifting out of the pelvis. Let's try this. So you're gonna inhale the arms out. Exhale, warrior 2. And then relax your back arm. And inhale, lifting the front arm, but keep the toe at the right adductor that's closest to the right knee, the back leg. Exhale, release that, and come to side angle pose. Remember, in side angle, the pelvis is pointing toward the back leg. And then we're going to inhale, come up. And spin the feet the other way. A block at the outer shin of the other leg. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, rising warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, come up. And then release both arms. Let's make your feet parallel. If you need blocks for a wide-legged forward fold, bring them over. Hands then up on the hips. Inhale deeply, lift through the top of the breastbone, and exhale, bow forward. Hands can come down to either blocks or the ground. Let's walk the arms forward for downward dog arms, either on finger pads or all the way down on the palms. Can you balance the weight between the ball of the foot and the heel of the foot? And can you also notice if the weight is falling more on the inside of your foot, and can you put a little more weight towards the outside of your foot? So, yeah. And then, can you reach firmly from the inner knees to the feet? And then let's walk the hands back. And you've got the wrists right under your shoulders, and you either have your hands on your blocks, or you might have your hands on the ground. Let's take your right hand and put it in the space between the two hands. So you're going to be firmly reaching down. You might need a block there. So reach all the way down, put the other hand up on the hip. Reach straight down and begin to turn towards the left. Still strong through the legs. Exhale, release back to center. Switching the hands. Reach firmly from the back of the left shoulder blade all the way into the left hand on the ground. And begin to turn the other way, turning towards your right. Exhale back to center. Bow forward. You might walk your hands to that space, like towards the feet, but let's lift the front of the chest. Let's lift the top of the breastbone. And then we'll exhale, and we're going to shift hands to the hips and inhale, come up. Good. And then can you heel toe, pause. So the width of the feet is going to depend on the bend of the knees. The feet are turned out at about a 45-degree angle. And you're going to bend both knees. Knees over the ankles, hands on the tops of the thighs. And I'm going to turn my palms against my legs, my fingers towards the ground. And I want to notice, are my knees pointing towards my toes? If they're not, then I'm going to turn my feet in more so that the knees are pointing toward the toes. Okay. Inhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, reach your arms out. Now exhale, bend both knees. Can they go wide? Inhale, bring them forward. Exhale, draw them in. Inhale, reach them out. Keep them out for the exhale. And your next inhale, reach them up. Exhale, straighten the legs, release the arms. And again, inhale the arms wide. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, bring the arms forward, clasp them. Exhale, draw them in. Inhale, broad across the upper back. Your next inhale, lift your arms. Can you lengthen through the sides? Can you lift the heart? And then inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, release the arms. We're going to do one more. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, bring them forward. Exhale, draw them in. Inhale, reach them away. Stay there for the exhale. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, straighten the legs, release the arms. We'll step the feet together. Shine the palms forward. In mountain pose. Find the ground. All right, and then we're gonna take a triangle. So you step the feet about a leg length width. And let's go to your left side first. So you're going to turn your left leg out first this time. Left leg out, right foot in. A block or two at the left outer shin. Inhale the arms out. And the exhale, you might bring this hand on a hip as you keep both legs straight. Hand might find the blocks. And then balance the weight in the front thigh, in the front leg. So if you draw your left outer hip towards midline, you feel how that weight will shift in your left foot. There, yeah. And then bring your arm up when you're ready. Turn the torso towards the sky. Maybe the gaze. And so on the front leg, there's this active reaching all the way towards the foot. From the inner thigh, reaching towards my foot. And on my back leg, I do want to keep that front part of the inner thigh, of the adductors, really toning towards the inseam of the leg. Then we're going to inhale and come up. And let's step the feet, let's step the left foot to meet the right foot. Welcome to close the eyes, to let your attention drop in. And then we're going to step the feet apart again. You're going to turn your right foot out, the second side. Is there a block there? Inhale the arms out. And exhale, triangle. So you might bring the back arm, hand to the hip. You're reaching out this front inner thigh. Hand comes down to find a prop. So you're drawing that outer hip to the inseam. You're drawing everything to the midline of the forward leg. Turn the torso. When I give a little tone above my back knee, to those adductors, toning all the way to the inside of that inner leg, I notice it allows my spine to be able to release a little more forward on both the down and the upside. I'm turning the torso again towards the sky and reaching my arm. The gaze is somewhere comfortable. It might be towards my foot. It might be straight ahead. And then we'll inhale, come back up. And we're going to make the feet parallel, and then you're going to step your right foot to meet your left. Mountain pose. Noticing where the weight is falling into your footprints. Great. Let's inhale, lift both arms. And exhale, hands back and Anjali Mudra. And then release the arms. And we're gonna take a sun salutation. So you can bring your blocks to the top of your mat. I'm gonna go sideways. Change one thing here. Okay. So you're standing at the top of the mat. You've got your props there. Can you bring your hands in front of your heart? The toes are all lengthened out on the ground. A little more weight back in the heels. And just take a moment to trust and remember, that innate wisdom, resilience, adaptability, and love. And then you're going to release your arms and inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. With your inhale, come up halfway. And your exhale, downward facing dog or puppy pose. The inhale, lift the right leg if you're in downward dog. From the right inner thigh, come all the way up on the ball of the left foot. If you're in puppy, just reach the leg back from all fours, and then we'll all bring the right foot forward. You could pull the blocks in so they frame your front foot. Reach down into the front heel. Back heel lifted. Inhale, upright lunge. Inhale the arms back out. Exhale all the way down. The blocks touch, so you touch the ground or your blocks. You're going to inhale, step forward. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, upright. The weight is more on the big toe of the back foot than the little toe. And then inhale your arms back out. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, upward hands. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog or puppy pose. This time we're going to inhale to plank. So if you've got, like Lise, I would say I wouldn't take plank pose. If you're having problems with the elbows, with the tendonitis, you could try being forearms on blocks. But if you're still feeling a lot of pain, I wouldn't bother right now with this because the tendonitis takes so much a break to really heal. The rest of us, we are still there in plank pose. So we've got, if you isometrically draw the feet toward each other, you feel the tone at the inner thigh. Inner thighs are toned. We'll lower the knees. And exhale, bring your chest down. Hands are on the ground by your rib cage. Let's inhale to cobra. Elbows are close in. Lifting the top of the breastbone. Exhale, lower. Inhale, all fours. And exhale, downward facing dog or puppy pose. Whether you're in downward dog or puppy, are you breathing deeply? Are you strongly reaching into your hands? Do you feel your finger pads and knuckles? What direction is your rib cage going? Great. Another deep inhale. We're going to exhale and walk the hands towards the feet. There's a forward fold. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead. Exhale, hands back in front of the heart. Great. And then we're going to walk forward back to the top of the mat. So we feel I feel the residue of the heat. I feel the heat in the room here. It's warm in here. The residue from yesterday. And as I keep moving and feeling that heat moving through the body. So again, we're going to take another sensation. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway, lift the front of the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog or puppy. Actively reaching to the hands, whether my practice is at home or the studio, I'm practicing right now. What is my intent? Really working with that. We're going to inhale, right leg up. From the right inner thigh, come on the ball of the left foot. Exhale, right foot forward. Hands can be on blocks or on the floor. So, weeks ago we said, reaching down into the front heel, turning the pelvis slightly away from the bent knee. Just a little bit. And then here we go. We're going to come upright. Lift through the top of the breastbone. Back leg is straight. Is the back inner thigh toned to the inseam of that leg? You might inhale, lift the arms. And maybe the gaze. And then inhale the arms wide. Exhale to plank. So inner thighs are toned in plank. Abs, part of that. Inhale, come onto the toes. Exhale, you'll either lower the knees and bring the chest down, or you'll bring the chest down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale to all fours. And exhale to either puppy or downward dog. Let's inhale, take the left leg up. Exhale, left foot forward. Reaching down, lengthening back. Inhale, come up. Lift through the top of the breastbone. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead. Exhale your hands back in front of your heart. And then relax both arms. Just standing for a moment. All right. So from there, I want us to take warrior one. I don't know if I can show anything in particular, but I'm going to try just to show you. So if you want to watch for a second, we'll see if this actually, if you're able to see. So, because in a moment, you're going to step, 1 foot back. The feet are hip distance wide. The back foot has a slight turnout, but not huge, but a little, yes. And both legs are straight to start. So as I exhale, I'm gonna bring my front shin forward. Now here, I'm kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but most of the weight is really coming into my front inner thigh right here. There is more weight there. So what I'm gonna say to you as you come down, you are releasing. I'm gonna release the front thigh. So I'm gonna let the front thigh go and tone through the back inner thigh. What happens then is I'm able to actually rise up out of it more, as opposed to here. Here I'm kind of dumping into the front thigh. Can you see that at all? Yeah, no, yes. A little bit, maybe you can shake your head. I can see your head. So what you're gonna do in a moment when you come into the warrior pose is you're going to, as you have the pelvis facing forward, when you come down, let the pubic bone and the inner thigh go away from each other on the front leg. You'll tone the back one and see if that gives you the ability to lift out of the pelvis. Let's try it. Okay. So let's have you step your right foot back. Right foot back. And you go, okay, right foot back, both legs are straight. My back foot is turned out about 15 degrees. So right around there in the back foot. And then inhale, lift your arms. Another deep inhale. And then as you exhale, let's keep some tone at the back inner thigh. As you bend your front knee, you'll feel that the pelvis on the front is actually moving more back. So the pubic bone isn't being held up. Reach into the back leg. Lift the heart. And then you'll release the arms, straighten the front leg. Step forward. Does anybody want to ask a question before you do your other side? Then let's try the other side. Okay. So this will be the other leg back. For a lot of you, it'll be the left leg back. But who knows? Did you have a question, Elizabeth? Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
No, I'm good. I have to leave.
Okay.
I have to leave early. I'm sorry. So
No worries, dear. Have a lovely day.
you
Don't
too.
forget to do the other side.
I did both of them.
Okay, great. All right, here we go.
I do have a question.
Yes.
If I keep my back heel down, I don't get a very deep bend in my front leg.
So make your stance a little shorter.
Okay.
Who is saying this to me, Katie?
Yeah, Katie.
Okay. So maybe the stance is a little long. I can't see your stance exactly, but your stance might maybe shorten the stance a little. Okay, let's see. Yeah, because we do want the back heel to be grounded. It's going to help us be able to reach back there. It is different than the high lunge. The other thing you might check is, are the feet hip distance wide? That when you step back, you didn't cross your foot over and made it come cross over midline. Make sure the feet are still hip distance. Yeah. All right. Let's try the other side.
Thank you.
Left leg back. There we go. Great. So left leg back, you reach the arms up. You're strongly reaching into the back leg. And then exhale, bring the front shin forward. That's it. Reach all the way through your fingers. All the way through. That's it, Jackie. Really reach through those arms, because I can see your arms. Excellent. Breathing deeply. Great. That's it. And Ingrid, what about your left arm? Can you really lengthen your left arm up, Ingrid? Yes, you can. Great. How about the right one? Yeah, good. And then we'll inhale, release the arms, straighten the front leg. And then step forward. Great. Wonderful. That's it. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't see your lower bodies, but I could see a lot of your upper bodies. And I'm hoping you felt some space and an ability to rise out of your pelvis. Okay, so let's take downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Okay, so we're going to a place of symmetry. Puppy pose is fine. Half dog at the wall or with the counter or the chair. Those are fine as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whichever you've chosen, that's it. Yeah. If you're, no matter what pose, whether it's puppy, half Uttanasana at the wall, or downward facing dog, yeah, great. Are you strongly reaching into the hands? Into the index finger, knuckle, and finger pads? Is the base of the skull lifted so that you're broad across your upper back? You might at least just lift your head a little bit higher. Like that. There you go. Great. Another deep inhale. Great. And then you can exhale. If you're in downward dog, lower the knees to the ground. Great. And then everyone, you can walk your hands back. So I want to give you the option of either doing pigeon pose or the figure 4 stretch where you lie on your back and clasp behind the knee. So if you're going to do pigeon, I'm going to just tilt this down a little. I'll often open a blanket up just so that there is more padding. And I'm going to bring the left knee forward. And when I bring it forward, it is farther left than my hip joint. So when I bring my left knee forward, my left knee is pointing a little more oblique. If I'm not going to do pigeon, then I'm going to lie on the ground and do a figure 4 hip stretch. Okay? If I'm in pigeon, the weight is balanced in my hips. So Bella, you'll need to take your right leg back behind you. There you go. Yeah, great. Yep. So the weight is balanced in my hips. In fact, if I need to, I'll take another blanket and put it under this left lifted hip. I can put some more, that feels pretty good. I could put, so now I've got my left shin is on the, a blanket. And even though my left hip is higher, I snuck a little blanket under there. And so now I have my left hip on a blanket. So those of us in pigeon, can you lift through the top of the breastbone? Can you tone the back inner thigh? Similar to warrior 1, so that the back inner thigh is toned and you're lifting up and out of the pelvis. Lifting the top of the breastbone, breathing deeply. Yeah, and those in pigeon, you might come forward. You might come down to the forearms. If you're in the figure 4 stretch on your back, on the ground, is the little toe side or the heel at the top of the opposite, thigh or knee. Is the weight a little away from the stretched hip if you're in figure 4? Is your the shin relaxed on the leg that you have lifted back up? You can use the strength at the front of that thigh to draw the knee in. And then we're gonna switch sides. So if I had a blanket under my hip for pigeon, I'm gonna move that one over to the other side. And then I'm gonna bring my other leg forward. So again, the knee is not straight ahead. It's at an oblique angle if I'm doing pigeon. I can put some extra support under my right hip. And if I'm in pigeon, I'm going to tone both the front of the back leg adductor to the inseam and the back of that back adductor. I'm going to tone towards the midline. When I do, it gives me some support. It's because the adductors are part of the deep front line of the body. They're part of cueing the fascial relationship to the abdominals. It's helping support me as I lift my body up so that I do have some tone in transversus abdominis right now. There's a little tone there. And if you're in pigeon, you'll then come down to the forearms. And again, figure 4 people, is it the little toe or heel? That would work right above the knee of the opposite leg. Can you shift the weight a little to the opposite hip? The sacrum is still on the ground, the top of the sacrum. And what's the quality for all of us of your breathing? And then we're all going to come out of the pose we're in, and you're going to lie on your back and take a dead bug pose. In your dead bug, you can either have your hands at the backs of the thighs, hands on the shins, I'd like the sacrum, the top of the sacrum, to be on the ground. So wherever you choose to put your hands, make sure the top of the sacrum is part of that choice you make. So if I decide to go to the little toe side of the foot, I heard, I really enjoyed Radiolab. I heard the other day, part of Radiolab. And what he was interviewing, they were playing a recording of Richard Feynman. And he was talking about physics. But the part that I was really also remembering is that, as you probably know, we are made of atoms. These molecules are constantly in motion. So we often get an idea that our bones are a certain density. And let's bring the knees together now and take the hands behind the knees. But I don't think we always realize that, there is a lot of the bones, the living bones, have a lot of flexibility to them. And then we're going to go to a supine Baddha Konasana. So you'll grab the ankles and take the knees wide apart. So the bones can have a lot of elasticity to them. So as you have this weight on your sacrum right now, you might notice, like, what is the textural quality of your sacrum? Let's bring the knees together and feet to the floor. And then let's straighten the legs out for a moment. Let's see. So as you lie on your back right now, and bring your attention to the pelvis, and just see if you can get a sense of the back of the sacrum, the right side, the left side. And does one side feel, like, can you feel a difference between the two sides of your sacrum? And if one side feels like it's like tighter or more bound together in the bone there, can you bring your awareness, your kinesthetic awareness, your felt sense into that side of your sacrum and see if you can moisturize that with your awareness, irrigate that area. All right, and then can you bend your knees and roll over to one side and press yourself back up to sitting. And I want to show you pranayama we're going to do today. So this one is called, let's see. Oh no, what if she can't remember the name? Here's what it looks like. If it's okay for you to sit on your knees, and I'm going to put a blanket out in front of me. Some of you might want something higher. You would do a little test drive. You're just going to loosely clasp. I actually grab onto one wrist behind my body. And I'm just going to take a little test and see. Let's see, will my forehead touch that? If my forehead won't touch that blanket, then I would add 2 blankets or a block or something like this. So this isn't going to be about resisting any urges to inhale. But I'm going to inhale and seated, exhale, bow forward. And when my head touches down, I'm just going to suspend the exhale until I feel like inhaling. And then the inhale, I'm going to come right back up. So it'll look like this. And so it's the exhale on the way down. And I'm not resisting the urge to inhale. I'm simply holding the breath out. And then when I feel like, oh, I want to inhale, I'm going to just inhale all the way back up and repeat. And will you do that anywhere 3 to 5 times and then come down to Shavasana? If you don't want to sit like this or do it this way, then I would say I would practice the box breathing that we've been working on in a comfortable seat. Okay? So any of those are good to go. And you're going to take 3 to 5, and then please come to Shavasana. nature's law dictates that in order to survive, bees must work together. As a result, they instinctively possess a sense of social responsibility. They have no constitution, no law, no police, no religion or moral training. But because of their nature, the whole colony survives. We human beings have a constitution, laws, police. We have religion, remarkable intelligence, and hearts with a great capacity to love. We have many extraordinary qualities. Allowing your breath to deepen and bringing movement back to your body. Make a mindful transition over to one side. And using your arms, bring yourself back up to sitting. And bringing your hands in front of your heart, honoring those qualities, the extraordinary qualities that you possess. And may we use these qualities to help to bring, a better world, and even a better day to someone else and to ourselves. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I'll just come over, let me shut off this recording.